What's up, guys? This is Hyce, and OBS is just gonna start being a pill right as we try to get rolling today, huh? Cool. Great. Love that. Yep. Uh-huh. 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 Well, I'm gonna restart OBS. We'll try again. Behold, there's a bitrate. What novel concept. How fun. Yeah. Boo-hoo. There we go. Good Christ. Yeah, that was more than mildly obnoxious, but here we are. Anyways, what's up, guys? This is Hyce. Welcome to Mikado Monday, my last kind of YouTube activity this week before I head back to Seattle for what you're hearing right now. We're going to have a little bit of Hellbot rolling in the background. We've got our big gig coming up Friday. If you're in the Seattle area, Pacific Northwest area, I'm just saying, Friday night, Tractor Tavern, be there, come say hi, come listen to some rock and roll. I know that myself, I will obviously be there, as with a number of my friends. It's going to be good. I'm going to introduce the stream, and then I see your top chats are already coming in. Goodness, thank you, everyone. So we'll get to that in a second, but I'm going to take a quick look here and show off kind of what I've been up to over the past week, because it turns out it would happen to be quite a lot. Anyway, I'm going to have to remember some of it. I don't want to spoil everything, because members of Studio 346's Patreon, let's see, POW, speaking of, members of Studio 346's Patreon will have just received the Flagstop featuring renders of the model for the first time. So that is up on the Patreon early for patrons. So if you support us there, you've seen all that. So I don't want to give away too many of the new goodies since then, because there were some additional new things, but I do want to show some things. Last time we were taking a look at the pilot flanger, which I did finish up, although I presently have the wrong side deck mounted. Gosh darn it. We need the other one. We need the pilot deck with the flanger. There we go. Yeah. So we've got our flanger cylinder there. We've got the linkage that runs to the crank, all that. The actual shaft that we modeled most of, except we've got the additional rake back for the indicator that pops up there and raises up and down. All that fun to let you know if you're flanging or not. And then the chain links to the actual flanger blades themselves, all finished up, and all the front of the pilot's all done and put together there. So got that all done in between last week, this week, as well as a lot of other things. You'll see the metal extra flags that live in the flag box, which I also don't have turned on at the moment. Gosh darn it. Flag, there we go. Turn the flag box on, simply. Later on in the Grand's era, they swapped to using metal flags, and they would put them in here. Although I have, I read online the dimensions of the flags, and it was on a standard gauge engine, and then I didn't double check, and those don't fit in there. So I have to resize those, evidently. I was like, those kind of look big, and I guess they probably had a bigger set for the standard gauge engines, so we'll adjust those, and that'll be great. But anyway, so those got added. The actual brackets that mount the class lamps, which had been missing, are there, and they're also added on the tender and the tender ladder, and that's actually even new since the vlog. I did those yesterday, as well as the electrical conduit for the backup light with the cute little spotlight is new as well. And then just more stuff done in the cab, more goodies there. The big one that we will tease real briefly here on stream is also on the tender, for those who haven't seen yet, is the whole oil burner setup is pretty much there. I've got to audit a couple things and add a few more things, but you've got the actual oil hatch that's bolted down, the dipstick grabs, and then the oil heating lines that come in and the associated valves, all the rivets, all the fun, and then the big grabs that are kind of NDM Santa Fe kind of flavor, which I think really looks pretty cool. Those will be toggleable separately if you don't want the profile of those matching basically the roofline of the cab. So it's a big tender. But the thought process with the oil burner on this engine was basically take kind of the setup that is largely there for the DNS oil burner setups for like 493 and the K36s and everything, and then kind of work up with that, assuming that it was done back in the day, because some of the stuff that the DNS did, of course, they did modern day welding techniques, all that stuff. So all that kind of thing, we went in and did a little bit of all that fun, trying to make it make sense in era, but still kind of be akin to the ones that exist for those who, operate and deal with the real ones. So, yes. Anyway. Uh-oh, I see Tristan's in chat. Hopefully not giving me too much crap. Mark getting his video out before going to play Rockstar up in Seattle. Exactly. It's a business trip. I did not... I can neither confirm nor deny that I just purchased 2 bottles of whiskey of opposite ends of the spectrum for 2 individuals at some tourist railroad up in the Northwest who I may be working with this week. Can neither confirm nor deny. It's been quite a good bit of fun. But anyway, that's kind of some of the stuff that's been going in on the model. I'll leave the rest of the spoilers for the flag stop itself. So support Studio 346 on Patreon. Your support helps to contribute to the development of the game itself. Or, don't and watch the videos later. And, obviously the love and the support directly to me is much appreciated. Speaking of, I'm going to go through top chats, then it looks like our fellow developer Eric is in chat today. So when I get through top chats, I'll jump in with him and we'll start modeling something. We'll probably fix those flags and then see what else I can find reference for. So anyways, let me get some stuff moved around. There we go. Okay. Top chats. Good Lord, you guys started early. No, oh man, so many jewels. YouTube, give me a brief on what the fuck the jewels are, because I still don't know. No Airman 260 sending Eagle for 400 jewels. Same with RGS 36 Studios, and as well Solaris, and also RGS 36 Studios a second time, and No Airman 260 for a second time. Lots of birds. I guess American Sun was playing, and at the opener, so that makes sense. Fair enough. Oregonian Railfan sending 6-7 for 67 jewels. Yes. Goodness. Talking about not my generation. It's fine. Braden 1986 connector 26 months. Time is definitely fake. Stupidly fake. Also can't wait for Century of Steam. Likewise, I anticipate when we could share it with everybody because Lord knows I want to play it just as bad as you guys. And I have to spend all my time working on it. It's the darndest thing. So, anyway. Thank you. RGS 36 Studios sending a Seagull for 150 jewels. Thank you. And Norman sent Clutch for 30 jewels. Clutch. Yes. Pyro Train Thing. Engineer 141 months. Lots of Eagles. Very good. America. Yes. Matt the Outcast. Good evening, Birdman. Quick question. Could you use old ties as fuel in a wood-burning engine, or would the creosote screw with the fire? I don't think you'd want to use tires for BTU and clogging output in any locomotive. I mean, they're not going to burn clean. Would they burn? Yes. Would they do awful things to your flues and tubes? Presumably, yes. Would they make a ton of smoke and not be efficient? Also, yes. Lord knows it's been done to simulate smoke. Famously, I think in Last of the Giants, they had a couple engines with tires burning in the firebox to simulate smoke, and that's... is that over-under terrible for the locomotive? Hard to say. Is it going to be operationally good, and would you want to do it? Also, no. Catch me outside one of these weeks. Off to take Monday and Tuesday off just to watch one of these lives. OL VOD it is. Have a good 4th. Yes, it did. I had a great time hanging out with the museum gang down at Dusty's. We had a little get-together, and it was all good. There were lots of smoked meats, which you love. Had some curs. It was a good time. All the fun. Yeah. No fireworks because the fire danger really, and most people actually seem to adhere to that. There was some, but nowhere near the amount that I would have expected for people being naughty shooting off fireworks. So, we appreciate our city and our area not burning down. So I was happy that most people followed that. Although, of course, it was a bummer to not see all the pretty. So. Trainspotter 454, Brakeman 36 months. Happy 3 years, my friend. OBS is back with its OLBS. With its old BS. Yes, pretty much. UP1055 production from Hearn, Texas. Conductor for 5 months. In a couple days, it's going to be my birthday. You wish me a happy birthday, please. Happy early birthday, my good sir. Enjoy. Lucario Blader 2. Hey, Mark. I think I speak for all of us when I say peaches. Yes. Also, I'm excited to finally throw my money at you. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, this is not quite Peaches in her exact configuration. When she did come out of... at the end of her service career, when she went on display at the museum, she did have the pilot flanger. That was removed to backdate her. And technically, in her 50s appearance, she could wear it or not, which is right now. So I don't think she will, just because it's extra crap that gets in the way, and we're never going to need a flanger at the museum. And if we do, we have screwed up royally. But presently, we've got somebody else's smiley face on, because the Chuchins, they all have different dumb-looking smiley faces. And I modeled all of them because I am a masochist, and it was easy. Whether we'll actually implement all of them remains to be seen. It depends on how much texture space it is and option paralysis and all that stuff. So that's 97's front face. 91's is a lot more pretty. She had braces. So, and then also her handrail headlight step also changes. As do most of them, actually. The only one that works with a plow is 497's up there. But 493 usually carries her here, except when she's wearing the plow. And then 91 is mounted all the way down here, which is actually the easiest to, I don't know, access the headlight. But she was a pretty little princess and never wore a snowplow. So what are you going to do? Anyways, but I'm glad you enjoy the model either way. Timerman765. Hey, Mark, have I ever thought of playing Battlefield 1 on the channel since you played Team Fortress 2 on here? I have Battlefield 1. God, I've not looked at it in an eon. I haven't played it in an eon. I don't think I've played a Battlefield game in like the last 3 years. Yeah, I actually can't remember the last time I played Battlefield. I may not have lived in Colorado the last time I played Battlefield. I used to love Bad Company 2 was my jam. That was some of my early PC gaming stuff. But maybe get it installed. It'd be fun to play that one. That one's it was pretty enjoyable back in the day. So I don't know. I know that they actually like 3D modeled a train pretty nicely for the game, so you could critique it. It could be funny. I probably wouldn't do a video. Videos like that don't do well, but yeah. New IKB Brakeman 26 months. Hope you found the South American locomotive lists useful. Now I did. Thank you. Appreciate it. Grinch Crafter 8969 Brakeman 2 months popping in to say hello. Model looks great. Thank you. Solaris. Well, Hyce, if you need dollars in Railroader, just set to Sandbox, spawn in a bunch of Santa Fe's, set them to sale, then reset company and dollars. That does sound like the way to cheat, yes. Pyro Train thing. Flags for the flag box, lamp for the lamp irons. I don't get the reference, at least off the top of my head, but maybe if it was read in a certain way, I don't know. Barrage Balloon, Conductor 42 months. Train. I got a thing about trains. Johnny Cash. Yeah, yes, that tracks. He does enjoy his trains. Mr. Deej, Conductor 26 months. Holy poopy, 26 months. I hope you don't mind me using this live stream to help me sleep. When you visit the UK, I'll teach you to drive Lorries Ruston. I'll hold you to that. I got to figure out when I can get over there. My travel plans are in a constant state of flux. At least the second half of this year. I got texts encouraging me to go to Alaska this summer. And I'm like, wait, this summer's like next month. Shit. So we'll see. Although Alaska's easier to get to than the UK, at least. Actually, the UK might be easier. It's fine. Anyway. Oregonian Railfan sending Eagle for 400 jewels. Thank you. Solaris, in a sense, we've gotten a lot of information from CS Century of Steam. How close are we to a track laying video? That one will come when it's well and ready, and that's all I have to say, my friend. I look forward to seeing that one and sharing it with you all when the time comes. But it is not there yet, and I don't have a timeline for you either. Slade Franklin, howdy. Any similarities to the Oahu 282s? The 37s, I don't think so. I know that Oahu literally did have K28s, so smaller 282s. I don't know if they had bigger ones though as well. I'm only aware of the one that hang on. Discord. Eric, I was waiting until I finished top chats to jump in, but I have a question that you could probably answer better than I can.
All right, what's your question?
Slade Franklin wants to know if there's any similarities from the K37 to the Oahu 282s. And I'm only familiar with their K28-esque 282. I didn't know if they had anything that was bigger like the 36s or 37s.
I'm personally not aware of there being any larger Mikados that they had than the K28, but not.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, that was my gut instinct, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, so K28 is largely similar to the Oahu K2. I mean, I believe it's actually the same Alco pattern, obviously just set up differently as they don't have the pumps on the front and everything. But definitely cool engines as well. 94 Chevy, connector 32 months. Good evening, ES&D/T/B/P/S/etc. Here's to another 32 months. God bless America. Lots of flags. Thank you. Appreciate that. CJ Carthy, I enjoyed the Coom Racing Toltec. For some reason, a guy with a 1982 Jeep J10 Honcho from the 1996 movie Twister made an appearance. It wasn't... It wasn't by chance Leo from the Railroad Museum, was it? Anyways, yeah, CNT is quite fun. If it was, if it's a yellow and blue Jeep, that could be one of our volunteers. But anyway, Doughboy Preston sent Dunkling for 900 joules. Thank you. Colorado Kid. Hey, Hyce, I have a question. Why did the K37s have such a bad reputation when compared to the K36s? We have answered that one. Hang on, it just jumped. Oh god, I'm all out of order. Shit. Well, Ryan, that was Ryan Campbell's question. It jumped that I read. Apologies. Ryan, I have a YouTube video for you to look up and watch when you're not done with stream that will explain that. It's one of my own. It is a Stories from the Shop video. Let me pull it up. I don't remember what I titled it, but I will search it real quick. Honestly, I can't give you a better answer than I gave in this video. Why the K37s were converted made me mad. Give that one a watch. That'll explain your whole thing. It's a bunch of bullshit from preservation. Put it that way. Let's see. DeBoy Preston, Duckling for 900 joules. Colorado Kid. It may or may not be classified info, but besides the Mason Bogey, will there be any other C&S locos put into the game? Time will tell, of course. We're not going to discuss new locomotives that have not been shown on these streams, but thank you. Steam Fan Scott sent guitar for 1,000 joules. Hell yeah. Cheers, Scott. Matt the Outcast, new video idea. Hyce rides the Devil's Shingle down Pikes Peak with Jimmy. Pants will for a fact be shitted. I don't want to do that. Not even for content. I just don't want to do that. That would be mild. That would be more than mildly terrifying. And I don't know if they'd be into it, but maybe we'll see. Boy Preston, you just got back from the Dollywood Railroad and the Little River Railroad / Logging Museum in Townsend, Tennessee. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you. Trainmaster 4014 sent guitar for 1,000 joules. Yes, guitar indeed. Thank you. It's been a guitar kind of day. I ran through our whole set list for the gig yesterday and today, and my fingers is feeling it. So let's see. Bowser 5678 conductor 30 months. 30 months as conductor. Is it appropriate to refer to the K37 as a Chimera class? Several parts from other classes combined to make a new class. Well, it's really only new parts and then one locomotive's old parts, so I don't know if it's truly like a Chimera. It's not like it's been crossbred. Because all the parts were new. Like, the design of the trailing truck matches the design of a K28, but it's not the same proportion and is not the exact same setup. The running gear largely is the same as the K36, but not quite. Although some of it is interchangeable, some of it's not. So, but it was all constructed new. So, kind of, if you want to, go ahead. You're not too far off, I don't think. You probably could explain it away. I just don't know if that makes 100% sense to me. Cross of Bayonne, you got to see 4014 at Pittston. I hope you had fun with that. So cool. Obviously, I had fun with my video on it, so, yeah. RGS 36 Studios, engineer 25 months, not going to be able to throw money at you during streams for a while. Wife and I just got a house. Definitely enjoying mortgage payments. Can confirm, house, good. Mortgage payments, not so good. I feel you there, and no worries. Take care of you and your own. If you got to drop out of membership, like, take care of your shit, man. Appreciate you, though. Jordan Freeman, what's this about Peru? Leighton's going on vacation. God bless him. An actual honest-to-God vacation, so that has nothing to do with me. Timothy Dance sent gold coin for 10 jewels. Thank you. Millbrook Railroad, break them in 35 months. Come to Millbrook, build track. It's fun. That would be fun. One of these days, I will get out your guys' way as well. But I have to right-size all the travel again, as we've discussed a bunch here. The reason that I am seriously considering Alaska, there are boundary conditions involved there that make it a pressing matter. You know what I mean? So, anyway. Nazu 50 engineer, 47 months, 1 more month to go. Hello, everyone. Thank you again for your support for all these almost 4 years, my friend. It's always good to see you. Millbrook Railroad also sending guitar for 1,000 jewels. Yeah. CJ Carthy 5, I'm sure it was, as I took a photo of his truck during Colorado Power Days, and he was also up at Osier eating lunch. Yeah, that was probably Leo. His truck is awesome. So, Swag Pants, where's my Crested Butte footboard pilot? Oh shit, that's actually a variant that we gotta do still. Ah, damn, I forgot about that. Hang on, we could do that today. Footboard pilot. I gotta find those pictures of 498 again. I posted them somewhere. Oh my god. That is adorable. I'm seeing something else while I'm streaming that I don't need to post. Anyway, but yeah, I want to fix my flags, because my flags they don't fit in my box, and I would like my flags to fit in my box. And I know that I made the flag box to the appropriate dimension. So we'll rescale our flags here. Oh god. But now I've screwed that up. It's fine. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Attach to edge. Chew. Alright. I'll just grab all of them. That's more conceivable. Alright, so then we can toss that guy back in the flag holder there. And now that the flag itself is smaller, I can probably slink it down a little further so it looks less stupid as well. I made those to the dimensions that I had seen on some flags that were on like an M67, and I was like, those look just wrong. That can't be right. And yeah, turns out, guess what? It was not in fact right. So honestly, they'd probably just slink that down until it hit the conduit. And honestly, I don't know if they kept them straight still, or they might still be square. They look better square. So we'll do that. Extra flags. Kapow. Fixed. Okay, so now let me see if I can find that picture of 498. Yep, thank God. Yep. In terms of silliness, this would have been a good variation to do for the flag stop. Oh well, I forgot about it. Look at this goob. They made choices doing this.
I have questions.
That is a thing that they did, and this is when they're still using the cloth extra flags. Yeah.
How does that differ from a traditional footboard pilot?
I don't know if it does differ or not, but it's still got some of the original pilot on it. They've just ripped the boiler tubes out and made footboards. And then I know that her tender, she had it on the tender as well, and I didn't save that picture. Mm-hmm. Damn, I'll have to look for that. I know it was in my Discord. Let me see. If I search 498 in my Discord. Let's see. Actually, the last time it was... Oh. Well, that's regular. 96 pilot. 96, yeah, okay, then 98. Dang. Where's the other one? Well, worst case, we can find the actual image later. Someone ping me in my Discord if they end up looking and finding the picture of her with the footboard pilot on the tender. Let's see. Okay, so in order to do that, we are going to need... God, does it just lose the sidebars? It does just lose the sidebars. Oh god, this is wacky. Okay, so we need to turn the rock guards off. Wait, how did they mount the... Oh, okay, no, it's got one... It's got one boiler tube of the long ones in the central. We'll make sure we link those. All right. All right. So then you've got that as your base. And then you also need to remove... Okay, I'm gonna make a folder for this because this is gonna get goddamn confusing. Plow stuff to remove. No, footboard.
It already looks quite liminal.
Yeah, so you gotta remove the front steps, and you gotta remove those. Okay. Oh god, she had that pilot while she had the fucking wood beam. That's crazy. And she's got the pilot flanger and the toolbox? You mean to tell me that the toolbox fits in the... Oh? Well, son of a bitch. Okay. I don't know. Does that actually fit? That's a Daniel Gallery, like, standard part. I don't know if that actually fits. It looks like it does. I think it barely doesn't by like just a skosh. So we'll just scale that in just a touch because obviously it works because they did that with the 98 wearing it. So you can do that, which is hilarious. I always thought that wasn't an option, but that's okay. Okay, so then they've got... Yeah, I guess we're going to make another new folder, and it's going to be... this is going to be footboard pilot. Okay, let's see. Let me take a look at these top chats real quick. Kegelfugeln. That feels very German. Welcome to the conductors. Thank you. Iban Louis, is there a variant of the K-37 that is just the bare pilot with no plow? Like without the pilot on it at all? Not that I'm aware of. Not that we would have. Not would be legal. There is one distinct piece of me that feels the dumb and somewhat desires to do the plylet as an option, like the 487 war briefly. but that feels like too much of a shit post because modern day and shenanigans. Yeah. Anyway, but no, it's going to be pilot or plow or the footboards that I'm about to do here. Let's see. Union Pacific Railfan 1989 sent cheers for 1,000 joules. Thank you. Matt the Outcast, even though it would, for a fact, go poorly, I gotta know just how poorly it would go if Peaches ran on the Georgetown Loop. You know, the funny thing is that's actually where she was supposed to run originally. 491 was acquired by History Colorado in an attempt to actually operate it on the Georgetown Loop when they were rebuilding the loop. They wanted to bring back... Swag Pants, my man, thank you. They wanted to bring back the loop and relay it and everything, and so they wanted a narrow gauge engine to run it, and so the History Colorado went to the Rio Grande and said, hey, we want one of your engines, can we have, you know, a K37 that's in good shape, blah, blah, blah. And that's why they ended up getting 491 with 499's tender. And then promptly they got further in surveying and went, oh, that's not going to work. So, yeah, they did. Oh, that's not 98, that's 89. But I mean, it'll probably be the same close enough setup, so that'll still work. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, so, yeah. She doesn't fit through the cuts, and I don't think she fits on the curves, technically. So, anyway. Yeah, let's see. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, we still got one more Hellbot tune before we go back to the regular streaming stuff. So, yeah. Colorado Kid! Oh, that's the style pilot I've seen before. The DNS should have put that footboard pilot on 340 when they did their excursions. It could have been funny. 403 Guy, Conductor 24 months. The 3700 class mod for DV is an open whip. Testing the files on the mod post on the DV Discord. You should check it out and give honest feedback. That is what I've been spoilering this whole time, FYI. I saw that is now in public testing, which is awesome. I don't know if I'm going to wait till it's done, or if I should play with it and give some feedback, because the mod author's been messaging me for a little bit now about it, which I'm really excited about. So, Jersey's Home Appliances. The Hellbot music in the background is farging excellent. Glad you like it. Cracked Finger Ginger Bandit, I think. Every time I don't know what the vowels are to your username. Brakeman, 16 months. Who has 499? Royal Gorge. Thank you, good man. Yes, the Royal Gorge Bridge and Park owns 499, to what I understand. Person 723. How do air-powered / steam-powered grate shakers work? You know... Shenanigans. I don't 100% understand that. That was one of the gas producer firebox more modern things that got done up. Oh, what? Why is all red? I'll need to fix that at some point. Yeah, but it just was a little cylinder to actuate the grate linkage back and forth, to what I understand, and the hope was to kind of keep stirring things up to keep creating more volatile gases and everything, which apparently worked. I don't know. Let's see. So we've got the boiler tube. We got our vertical support. We got the other regular vertical support. Okay. There and there. Is there bolts that I'm missing? Am I missing bolts on the pilot in general when the pilot's all put together? Wait. Oh, I was gonna say, hang on. So, some of that hardware is in the wrong spot. Okay, yeah, because the front pilot steps technically should be those guys. Yeah, front steps cast, and then these guys are more pilot hardware, and then we just got to make sure that we didn't break something by doing that, because we might have broken something by doing that. Oh no, if we just leave it there, no, that'll be fine. Okay, great. So then we turn off the front steps cast, so we remove all that shit. That's great. Cool. I was like, wait, where are those bolts? Those bolts should still be there. Oh, okay. Great, and so now we just got to make the outer strap, the footboard, and then the extra grabby that they built. I fucking love the way that guitar solo turned out. Yeah, sorry, I'm like enamored with my own music once again. It happens. Yeah, when we finished tracking that song, That's the Way We Want It with Hellbot, we finished tracking the guitars and got it put together, and we finished the guitar solo, and our producer, Jason, I just remember, he started jumping up and down out of his desk chair behind the console, big SSL like recording console. It was super dope to record with. He just starts jumping up and down and is just going, fuck yes, fuck yes, fuck yeah, with how the guitar solo came out on that song. I'm a little biased too, but I like the way it turned out. So again, Hellbot playing this Friday night in Seattle. If you're near enough to come out for it, come say hi. It's going to be a goddamn fun time, and we're hoping it sells out. So get your tickets now. All stuff and things and words. All right, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Anyway, let's see. Let's see about making a footboard. A footboard. I hope mine's a football. Yeah, they literally just left the rest of it, and then they built... Okay, so if we... Did I make anything that didn't have the origin at the origin? Apparently not. That's fine. Well, whatever. We'll put our cursor there. We'll add in footboard pilot. We're going to add a cube. Gotta go to Bendigo. Get my cube. Bring it up over here. Okay. Footboards are usually, they look relatively stout. I mean, they're like half of the height of that, so presumably timber that had been planed or something at some point in its life. Been touched by a carpenter before it was put in service, perhaps. We want to snap to an edge real quick, so we can snap to that edge there. And it looks like they run up basically against the tube there, but they've got a little side dealio. And then they don't extend past the front. They're not huge, so picking some kind of nominal dimension that makes some amount of sense is probably what I'll do. So we're at minus 205.41. So minus 215. 10-inch footboard? I mean, it is called a footboard. Do we make it a footboard? At that thickness, it does look proportionally different. Yeah, no, I bet you it goes. I bet you they are footboards. Because at least thickness-wise, that makes more sense to me. And then let's see, that is 9.72, and then, oh god, we made this hellaciously thick. So that's inch thick. So they're probably 2-inch thick boards. Okay, I'm buying that. I'm picking up what I'm putting down. And then my reference of 98 is with the wood beam, not the steel beam. So we'll turn off the steel beam, and we'll figure out where the fuck the wood beam lives. There it is. That one. Because it goes basically until the curvy bit of the deal there. And footboard, pilot, front. Okay. We're going to add some modifiers here. We'll put on our edge split. We'll add our mirror on the x-axis. Well, bam. Okay, and then we'll just do this, and then grab, what is that? Whatever that Y is, and then we will set the rest of these to that Y, but minus 2 to keep our thickness the same. And then they basically brought that up. There'sville. I have it sitting down on that, which seems reasonable, but the gap there's... I'd buy that. And I can't tell from the photos, but OSHA would lead me to believe that they would probably round the front corners of that. OSHA? Where we're going, we don't need no stinking OSHA. And then what I will do is I will steal a strap and hardware from our cast steps. Oh. Put it over there, split it out. And then footboard support. Okay. We can turn that shit off again. And it looks like they made these, they only did the one strap. And they look like they did it there, and they look like they made the strap a little wider. So we'll grab just the strappy bits. Not the bolty bits, the strappy bits. And just kind of vibe that out. And then they would have used carriage bolts or something that would have slotted up in there for the steps themselves, so as to not intrude upon foot surface. And those would have run out that way. Oh god. I see how the Rio Grande did those. The Rio Grande said, it can't be straight if it's been touched by the torch. Cool. I'll take a look at yous in just a sec, top chats. Oh, oops. Gotta be in the view, man. Just squingle the bracket until it goes there. Great. Oh, a Juicy Poo. Hi, buddy. Did you guys finally have dens? Go sit on your tree so I can turn on cat cam. And it looks like kind of what they did is something like this. That they then... Can I just bridge those faces? Yeah, it doesn't like it when I do that. We'll just do that anyway. Okay. Do that there. Do that there. Okay. There's a footboard pilot. That's a fargan goober looking device. No end of the line. We're still streaming. It's fine. Oh man, so many more pings. Do people find pictures that I need? More pictures of 98 from the front. That's the picture I'm looking at. Thank you. And a second one, which doesn't really reveal new details, but anyways, thank you. If we got the butt shot, I've seen a picture of her tender. We've now found pictures of 78, 89, and I recall it looking vaguely like that. And then there's 464, but 464's is different, I think. So we got 64. That's a cool picture. with the full tender footboard. And then the 78's got the split footboard. And I want to say that 98's was like the split footboard. The tenders on the 37s are different, but I've seen, there is a picture of 98 wearing that. That I'm like, I've seen it. It was in my Discord, I think, too. So, shrug. If someone finds it, let me know. Picture of 98. I assume I could probably just go with, it's going to be very similar to the way that, yes! There it is! Swag Pants, my man. I was going to say, it's very similar to the way that the other ones are set up. And there it is. Yeah. Yeah, look, she's got little spotlights. A little spotlight. And then, yeah, so very similar in that it's two halves again, and then they just didn't do anything under the coupler, kind of like 78. Not like 64, but like 78. That one! Next to a C16. Hi, my ass is larger than your existence. Yeah. You know what's funny? You know what's funny? I'm pretty sure that the K37 tender, fully loaded, ready to go, does in fact weigh more than an entire C16.
Let me check that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you would know, because the engine's gonna be 30 tons, right? So, and as modernized, maybe a little bit more, but
yes,
the tender's not gonna then be another 30 tons.
Okay.
So, yes, the K37 tender is in fact larger than a C16's existence.
So what I've got for a tender loaded weight, which you'll be able to tell me, for a 37.
It's 120,000 pounds. Yeah, 60 tons.
60 tons, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I have a look. I mean, just saying, 278 looks really, really adorable in that photo.
She is very wee. Okay, then we'll add a cylinder. And it's, knowing the railroad, it'll be 7/8 stock that they use to make this grab out of. Does in fact
I don't have it.
Like that.
Don't think I have a full
no, it looks bigger than
weight.
That. Okay.
For the C16s. And I don't really have anything modernized for them either. So yeah. The tender weighs more than the engine, certainly, but I would also expect it to weigh
more than the engine and tender, knowing how little they are.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll just do a quick little in and out 5-minute adventure. Yoink, chunk, kadunk, kadunk, bip, dip, dip, bip, 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 bip. Yep, just like that. Okay. Bridge edge loops, 3 cuts on a 0.6. Oops, now I want to bridge those edge loops. Hey, look, I made a pipe fitting. Took like what? 10, 11 seconds tops. Oh my god. I'm getting pictures from Natalie of the cats. Hades is under the bed in my suitcase like he knows I'm leaving tomorrow. And she is apparently saying, "Oh yes! Look at that! Turn on the cat cam! There's the douchey poo! There he is!" Cat cam brought to you by stream supporters like you. And we'll take a look at your top chats in just a quick second, as soon as I get this pipey grabby boy sorted here. So we'll just extrude that in the X, and then we'll just put it on X0, and well, bam, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Have 498's footboard pilot set up. hang on. We'll even put her. We'll put her face on. She's wearing the she's, for whatever, God, the consistency on the Denver and goddamn Rio Grande Western. She wears hers in this image where 93 does, normally, when 93 is not wearing a plow. And then she put on 98 with her goober happy face that is like a 90-degree angle instead of the other ones. There she be. What a silly look for these locomotives. But they did it. So let me post that in our work Discord real quick because it's enjoyable. Okay. I don't know if I would run that, but I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of like it. Oh, goodness. Okay, well, now we just got to do the ones on the tender.
I used to not like it, but it's actually growing on me. I can see a lot of utility in this.
It's kind of a wonkus for when your railroad is so advanced and you're all dieselized and you retain what? A K37 to be the Durango switcher. Mm-hmm.
We have entered absolute wonkus hours. I can also make a good use case for this for logging. That's going to be really nice. In case if you cannot tell, I'm grinning from my ears.
Good. I'm glad. This is, it's also kind of logging core. So anyway, let me see. Core.
Perfect in time for, your trip.
Yes, scrolling back up here, Pendragon the Great, Fireman 34 months, you joined the stream just to hear shenanigans, and yeah, that tracks pretty much. We're predictable beasts here. Bjorn the Beast, 8317, Fireman 26 months, Evening Mark, today was a good first day on as Fireman running a climax, and everything went well. Great to hear that. Also ever see a geared engine slip? Shit's wild, especially on a wood-burning geared engine. I would bet. I have personally slipped a Shay. So... it feels mildly uncomfortable from the seat. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad that everything went well other than that. New IKB, any thought to Gauntlet Track and Century of Steam? We're going to have to think about that one. I mean, it would be plausible. Like, I would understand how we would do it. I don't know if we have a narrow gauge use case to point at as an option as a historical basis. But perhaps, I don't know. We'll have to see. We want to see, kind of everything, the way things go in terms of making more custom track pieces and all that sort of stuff. So we'd have to think about that. But that's an interesting question to pose. So thank you. Trinicat, Fireman 15 months, creating a fantasy hockey league with your friend or calling a team in Midland, Texas, the West Texas Strawbars, mint. Also, someone added that phrase to Urban Dictionary, so everyone in chat go boost that. Are you kidding me? That's funny. Napford Master 98, PC randomly shut off while I was in flow state. Wishing you better luck. Also, pretty please let us name tunnels and bridges for the personal touch. I think that would be quite fun, wouldn't it? Celestial Caboose, Brickman 18 months. When did self-cleaning smoke boxes become a thing? I don't know an exact date or an exact time frame. Eric, would you know?
Not off the top of my head. I'm not the most up-to-date on locomotive appliances. I haven't been taught the lore on that.
I'm sure one of our researchers probably knows. My guess, based on the Rio Grande's rebuild schedule, would be very early 1900s, if not late 1890s. But I don't know. I don't know enough to say that confidently for sure.
I mean, maybe for the smaller power, like, your C classes and your trundling along T classes, maybe when they got extended smoke boxes. I don't know. Right.
So that's my guess. But again, I don't know for sure. That's an interesting question. I imagine there's a patent out there somewhere. Chainbreaker 5063, engineered 22 months. Time's fake. Tis. How much have I learned since starting on Century of Steam, and how excited are you and the team about the product as a whole? I've learned a shit ton. About locomotives, about history, about railroads, about skill, like programming and 3D modeling and how games render and how computers work. I was having a conversation with Jake the other week that was like starting to hurt my brain, talking about how CPUs access memory and how certain calculations we do need to be optimized to the level of grouping things such that the CPU can cache everything from the same spot of the RAM at the same time. And I'm sitting here going, I didn't think you had the like granular control down to the level of what the fucking CPU is like trying to think about. Like that level of granularity. Like there's so many things. So I've learned quite a bit, and it's been wonderful. I mean, goodness, doing a big project like this is always a great way to learn. And yeah, there's been more than I could even start to list. And how are we excited about the product as a whole? We're extremely excited. I think all of us are making this because it's something that we want ourselves, and that's what is driving us to do everything to the level that we're doing, and the reasons why we're not throwing it out the door early. So it's because we're excited and we're passionate about it. So great question. Trini Cat, I respect the guts for streaming without mods online. Usually if there's a really big problem, it becomes kind of obvious, but there's always mods. They hang around. They're around, so they'll get you. Colorado Kid 1758, did they not have any Y or turntable at Crested Butte? Why else did they need these footboard pilots for a fairly big branch line? I don't know the history at all of the footboard pilots in Crested Butte as a thing. Leighton would probably know because he's familiar with the railroad in that area. I would assume that they would have had a Y or something at Crested Butte. We could look. We could take a quick look and see. We could see if there's a Y or not, presumably. Presumably, Rail.Guide would show that. Let's make sure. Yeah, classic owners. Krusty Butt. Was there really not? And that must have been up to some industry or something. Maybe there wasn't. That's kind of heinous. Well, that would make sense. Unless, I mean, Rail.Guide's not perfect, so maybe there was a Y and it's just not shown. But, that would do it. Because, yeah, that's the branch out of Gunnison. So they just turned and went. That would make a lot of sense. But, yeah, that would suck. Go ride the shove for the next, however many miles that is. The fun, they do have... Yeah, that's cool that they have it listed. The CNS tried. The South Park line tried to make it to Crested Butte. And I've actually seen and been to the beautiful Palisade Wall constructed by their graders. The second Palisade Wall that exists. That's at the end of this line. And it's gorgeous, but it's never seen a train before. So there's no track ever made it that far. I think the tracks stopped somewhere around Baldwin. So presumably that's why. That would make sense. Anyway, Swag Pants, as someone with a footboard fetish, this amuses me. I'm glad that you are being amused. Jordan Freeman, Conductor 40 months. Southern 45 in green and gold is compared to other America 250 locomotives. S tier along with 4049 in the American Freedom Train scheme. Fight me. I won't. I think it looks great. Colonel Cactus, the SFP&P in Arizona had some gauntlet track for a weigh scale in an 1898 photo. That could be the one used for it in Century of Steam. All right, there's a prototype for everything, everyone. That's something that we're going to have to raise with the group and discuss when we get there. Because there are things to think about with that. So... Co-founder NERU! Hey, Camillo! Hey, good evening. Hyce, a curiosity question. Would you ever do a footplate cooking series with Kent Rollins? Looks like you'd both mesh well. Well, that would be too damn fun. I'm down to collaborate with any YouTuber that's bigger than me that's vaguely relevant. Because that's always good for the business, as it were. But yeah, I mean, his channel's fun. I've watched his cooking before. I haven't made one of his recipes yet, but I enjoy his stuff. So yeah. Cedar Valley Rail, Fireman 32 months. You can sometimes get more detail on rail.guide using the abandoned layer. Fun fact. Interesting. Good shout. Person 723, I know you probably can't say, but is there more than a 0% chance of adding the 4 or 8 drivered Mason bogies? I, in fact, cannot say at this time. We like our trains. We like all of the varieties of the trains. And there's lots of trains to make. But, you know, there's lots of game to make, too, and it's a balance of both of those things. I will boom! Engineer 49 months. I'm going to try and read this in his voice, right? Are you guys really that scared of running tender first? It's not all that different from running with a whole ass boil in front of you. That's my Will impression, and that's how I would imagine he would say that. Cheers, buddy. Good to see you. It's not about running tender first versus not. It's about switching and having switcher pilots for all those things. But interesting. Yeah, you know, we're scared of lots of things. You know, we're not like you guys. We are, in fact, scared of the dark and need our headlights turned on. So, good to see you, Will. Okay, let's see. Let's see about getting that Tonder footboard pilot. Let's see. That's gonna be. I guess we'll put that in a box. Because I'm trying to be better about organizing things. Because it was a pain in the ass to get a bunch of renders with nothing organized. Footboard pilot. Rear. Oh shit. Where did those pictures go? Hopefully. Do we have to make any modifications to the rest of it? Oh, Denver and Rio Grande Goblins. Denver and Rio Goblin Western. Wow, that is spectacular. So I'm giggling a lot because, alright, they've got the footboards, right? And they left the goddamn cast steps on, too. So you can... So you've got all of... So many... There's place. If you got 3 feet, man, we got a place for you to stand. That is delightful. That makes it easy. It's like, oh, we don't have to decide to take things on and remove them. We just literally have to add the grab and then the dealio itself. Oh my god, that's hilarious. So, theoretically, I can probably just copy this and paste it and spin it around. And start from there. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? We're just gonna go and we're going to join those into one because they don't have any business being 2, and then we'll just go down to our footboard pilot rear and we'll paste and make it a footboard pilot rear and RZ180 and then slurp it down here. And then deal with the ramifications of it now being on the tender. Okay, so the tender one is obviously wider, and then the... Oh. They did some sillies to make the pipe work. So that's entertaining. So the pipe has to... It's in front of the ladder. Which means that they had to do a stupid for this to work. Because obviously, like, they would tuck it in and it would start further in near the tender. And it starts like almost parallel with the middle part of the rear seam there next to the cut lever. So about there'sville, presumably. So they could even tuck it in a little further. Because that would give them less chance of a tear-out failure in the wood when they were drilling the hole to bolt that in. Make sure there's a little clearance there. And you can kind of see it in the image. I don't know. It's hard to tell if they used fittings or not for this one. Actually, it looks like a smooth bend on that side. And they had to do that because they had to lean it back first because it comes in front of the ladder. And there really is that little space on the K37 rear end here. So what we can do is we'll just delete those guys. And then we can put this just past the ladder there. Did 98 have a different amount of ladder rungs? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rio Grande! Make something consistent for once in your goddamn lives. I said, no, I don't wanna. Well, 491's ladder has 5 rungs. Bitches. That said, the vertical bar is like just barely there above that, so we'll put it. There's Phil. I'll take a look at top chats in just a second once we get this bar figured out, guys. Okay, so let's get those figured out. That's good. So I would assume and assert that they would do something along the lines of this. And then we can do one of those, kapow. 3 ought to be fine. And then that's straight. There we go. That's one fucked up looking Denver and Rio Grande Western pap. Beautiful. This is so stupid. Denver and Rio Grande Western. Why are you like this? Oh, Jake is so... Poor Jake. He's so silly. Let me fix that for Jake. It's fine. Anyway. Let me scroll up and catch these top chats here. Oh, goodness. You guys have been busy. Glenn Holland! Hey, Glenn! I enjoyed putting together my ad for NERU for twerp, and then having to laugh at a picture of you being in the ad. It was very good. It looks spiffy as per usual, unsurprisingly. Happy 250. Hope yours was enjoyable and hope you're well. Yes, it's been great. I enjoyed the celebration and all the fun, and I've been doing good, man. And it's been a great last month. I cannot recommend fucking medication that works for your brain more than enough because... man, what a difference. The physical difference, not much. The subtle mental difference that cascades into everything being different. Chef's kiss. Anyway. Void Elder, engineer 30 months. You and your friend are already arguing over the customizations you want to put on the steam engines. Thanks again for making the wonderful customizations for the locomotives you're making and the time you put into them. Thank you, I appreciate it. There's a lot of time and love put into all of these things, so... Ugh, it's important. Colonial Tooth, 61884. Do we still have the FNCC 10-wheeler drawings? Where can I obtain them if so? I have not seen proper actual drawings. I've seen folios around, but real honest-to-Christ drawings, I don't know if they exist. Could potentially put in a request with the museum's library. That would be a decent shout, or maybe looking at the DPL, but I don't know. Denver Public Library. The car attendant, engineer 25 months. Been a minute since you've hopped in here. Greetings, Birdman. How goes the giant peachy object? Going well. Hope all is well and loving that cat cam. Good. You can stare at Zeus sleeping. And we can see if I can torture him. Goosey poo. Goosey poo. Zeus. Goosey poo. He's like, I had dinner, conk. So, Glenn Holland, Fireman 38 months. I'll miss you at an MRA. I'll miss you too. I was hoping that one would work out, but it doesn't make sense, unfortunately. I will boom. You're more than scared of the dark. You're scared of the daylight as well. It's not just at night that you wave your headlights on. That's true. Not in this era, but yes, in the modern day, yes. They gotta have the headlight on all the time, which is, a whole thing. Lucario Blader 2, DNRGW, dumbass and ridiculous goblin wizardry. Somebody put that on the side of a tender. It's very good. Treewalker 93, engineered 25 months. Any goofy ideas for achievements yet? Still backing my pitch for Smells Like Kenosha, gifting the players Avatar a golden flask for their bibs pocket. Also, that sounded expensive, needs to be an achievement. We have an entire channel in our work Discord full of so many dumb ideas for achievements, half of which are probably not practical to keep track of. But it is so easy to come up with those ideas. Literally so easy. So, yeah. There'll be plenty of fun ones when we get there. Craig Bryant, could I please do a reaction to Raving Rail Fanny recorded 4014, get it get spoiler washed out? That'd be amazing. Yeah. Well, we could potentially do that. That would be fun. I've not seen how the UP does their boiler washes, and I know that UP typically is kind of the creme de la creme of kind of how people treat steam engines. So I'd be curious to know exactly what they do. So let me put that on my Trello. And I'm doing quite well, Craig. Thank you. I gotta get all packed up after stream here after dinner, but yeah, we'll put that put that on the Trello now that it's loaded. Let's see. Reacts. Raving Railfan 4014 boiler wash. That'd be fun. Lord knows I would probably learn something and I could help explain. Steam Power, would I be interested in reference photos on a certain Mikado that got away? Turns out she less 464 and more every other 27, so that may help or not. Not at this time. That is not something that I'm going to be working on potentially ever, but maybe. Who knows? Time will tell. But not in the near future. I've got to finish this one, and then I have... something tells me, though I don't know, Mikado Monday might continue after this one is done, so time will tell. That Niagara guy, NDM researcher here. Hey, dude, thank you for the Mexican $100 super chat, and appreciate you. And NDM's shit's so freaking cool. Did you know that even though they're both the same class, the two K27s were classed KR03 and KR04, even though they are the same? Why? I did not know that. That sounds railroady. That sounds like something stupid that the railroad would do. So, I didn't know that, but I'm, regrettably not terribly surprised. Okay. Back to modeling the thing. So, it looks like the boards... Oh, I was like, it lines up with the rear angle cock and hose. Oh. I still gotta do that. I haven't done any brake plumbing on the tender yet. Yeah, there's no brake cylinder, there's no brake pipe. The trucks are there, and the trucks have their brake rigging, but... Okay, so it lines up with something that I don't have. That's fine, but you can kind of see that it lines up and overlaps the big brick a little bit. Yeah, like... Theresville... And they bracketed that. They went, like, all the way gosh darn wide with this thing. They said, oh, hi, Hades boy. Go sit on your tree with your brother so that you can be cute on the camera. They basically went to, like, the tangent point of the step. And with the bolts that hold the tender on, oh, I bet you they just used that. Because it doesn't look like that strap iron stops there, so I bet you that they just used the tender hardware that already existed. So what we can do is we can grab those and we can separate them out, and we can do we'll make again another folder. Regular rear end And so we can put the split off end sill hardware in there. End sill hardware. And so that turns off with that, but we can also then copy and paste it there. So that'll go away. But then these ones, we can grab all of them and just shoot. Do I have a back face on those? No, I don't. Good. Okay. And then what we'll do is we will just take the swoopy top of that bracket and just kind of bring it up just a little bit more. Actually, and you know what we can do is we can then just marry that in there. Bang. Because we don't need that. We can just turn that on and then turn the other one on. Because they would just use that same hardware and it would look a little goofy because it's not sized the same, but those are the actual bolts that hold the end beam on the tender to that piece of strap iron. So yeah, they would just reuse that hole there, which is fun. But then of course there is an second bracket, and it looks like this one is lives kind of goofily, like right as close to those guys as it can, which is kind of hilarious. And it still will have 2 pieces of hardware. So there you go. How about that? Footboards front and rear. The 498/Crusty Butt experience. There you go, everybody. Okay. Well, that's quite fun. You love to see it. Okay. Well, I think with that, I'm going to leave it there because I still got to do dinner. So a little bit of a shorter stream today. Not as short as last time, actually. The last one was very short because Dusty came and interrupted. But we got to do dinner, and then I got to pack for my trip. So we're going to call it there today. But we've gotten a front and rear switcher board pilot done. We got something done and achieved, and we resized some flag brackets, or some flags. So like, kapow, got some stuff done. That's gonna be that. I won't be live at all this week probably, unless I decide to stream from my phone for some goddamn reason, because I will be in the Northwest. So look for more things next week as we come back, and probably come back to the 3D model at that point. So thank you everyone for watching. Appreciate y'all. Andrew Frame's gonna end us out with being a fireman 41 months, saying hashtag Krusty Butt Express. Yes, hashtag the Krusty Butt Express. Andrew, we should message because I hope to see you tomorrow and or later this week. So I'll chat with you in just a minute here. But great to see everyone. Thanks so much for the love and support. We'll catch you all next time.